It was not planned. It was not gentle. It was not even done with consent. It was born from chaos, blood, and the edge of death. Sheng lay on the cold ground, poisoned and drugged, his body failing him after being kidnapped by his own brother's men. His breaths were shallow, his pulse fading, and his life hanging by a thread. Hua Yong, the man who had loved him, lied to him, manipulated him, and betrayed him for over 15 years, had only one choice if he wanted Sheng to survive. He had to mark him, permanently. And so, Hua Yong bent down, his lips brushing against Sheng's skin, and sank his fangs deep into the flesh of his neck. It was a mark of dominance, of possession, of irreversible belonging. Sheng's body arched, trembling in both pain and shock, but he was too weak to fight back. He could only feel the flood of warmth and strength rushing through his veins as the bond locked into place. His heartbeat steadied, his breathing calmed, and for the first time since the poison entered his body, life returned to him. He had been saved, but in that moment, he had also been claimed. Hua Yong had turned him into something he had never wanted to be, his Omega. The story of how it came to this moment began long before. Hua Yong had been obsessed with Sheng Shao You since childhood. 15 years of unshakable, desperate love had twisted into something darker. Hua Yong knew Sheng only loved Omegas. Sheng had never once looked at an alpha with affection, never once considered being with one. So Hua Yong lied. He disguised himself as an Omega, pretending weakness and fragility, weaving stories and illusions so Sheng would accept him. He even framed Shen Wenling, a close friend, making Sheng believe Wenling was an enemy. He planted seeds of hatred and mistrust, cutting off Sheng from others and ensuring that all of Sheng's attention would be directed toward him. Every step of the way, Hua Yong calculated and schemed. Yet beneath all of the lies, his love for Sheng was real, obsessive, suffocating, dangerous, but real. When the truth came out that Hua Yong was not an Omega, that he was in fact an alpha of terrifying strength, higher even than the rare S-class, Sheng's heart shattered. He felt betrayed in the deepest way possible. All those years, all those moments, every touch and every word, it was all lies. He broke up with Hua Yong, his anger overwhelming his love. To Sheng, Hua Yong was nothing but a manipulator. But while Hua Yong battled rejection, Sheng faced danger from his own family. His half-brother, an illegitimate child, had always envied him. Sheng was the legitimate heir, the one trusted to run their father's company. His brother had only bitterness and resentment. He plotted to get rid of Sheng once and for all. One night, his men drugged Sheng, dragging him out of the company building and into a waiting car. The plan was cruel. Destroy his alpha gland. Once the gland was destroyed, Sheng would almost certainly die. The success rate of survival was less than 2%. To his brother, that was enough. But fate placed Hua Yong in the parking lot at the same time. He saw Sheng being carried away, unconscious, helpless. His heart froze in his chest. Without hesitation, he ordered his driver to follow. The car chase that followed was tense, dangerous, but Hua Yong's eyes never left Sheng's silhouette. When the kidnappers finally stopped in a remote area, Hua Yong struck with ruthless precision. Bullets rang out, men fell. No one would take Sheng away from him. Hua Yong rushed to Sheng's side. The sight broke him. Sheng's face was pale, his breathing shallow, his pulse almost gone. Poison coursed through his veins, his body rejecting him, his alpha gland on the verge of collapse. Hua Yong's hands trembled as he touched him. Desperate and panicked for the first time in his life, he whispered to him to hold on, begged him not to leave. But words were not enough. Hua Yong knew the truth. The only way to save him was to mark him. It was the one act that could stabilize Sheng's body, repair his failing gland, and force the poison out. But it was also an act of possession, of eternal bond. Once done, it could never be undone. Hua Yong didn't care. To him, there was no choice. Love, obsession, desperation, all of it collided in that instant. He leaned in, and with one sharp bite, he marked Sheng as his. Sheng woke later, his body weak but alive. And then the realization struck him like lightning. His neck burned with the fresh wound. His body pulsed with the undeniable bond tying him to Hua Yong. The man he had wanted to leave behind had claimed him in the most irreversible way possible. Rage and betrayal filled him. How dare Hua Yong take away his freedom? How dare he decide for him? Sheng spat accusations, his voice trembling with fury. To him, Hua Yong had not saved his life, he had stolen it. But Hua Yong did not flinch. He looked at him with eyes full of desperate, broken love and said only one thing: "You're alive." That's all that matters. For Hua Yong, the moment was victory. After years of chasing, lying, and waiting, Sheng Shao You was bound to him. Sheng could hate him, scream at him, reject him, but none of it mattered. The mark could not be undone. Sheng belonged to him now. He was his Omega, whether he accepted it or not. But for Sheng, it was the deepest betrayal of all. He had been stripped of choice, bound without consent, and forced into a role he never wanted. He had always prided himself on being strong, independent, in control of his destiny. But now, his very body answered to Hua Yong. The bond tied them together in ways that terrified him. Every time Hua Yong drew close, his heart betrayed him. His body responded, his emotions tangled. He could not deny the mark's power. It enraged him, but it also revealed the truth he didn't want to face. He loved Hua Yong too. The night grew silent after the chaos of gunfire and poison. Hua Yong sat beside Sheng, refusing to leave, his heart torn between triumph and sorrow. He had saved the man he loved, but he had also forced him into chains. He whispered to Sheng, soft and low, promises of love and protection. But Sheng turned away, his eyes full of hatred. And yet, as Hua Yong watched him breathe, watched him live, he knew he would do it all again. Because Sheng Shao You was his. Forever. This was not just about saving a life. This was about rewriting destiny. Sheng Shao You, once free, once untouchable, had been turned into Hua Yong's Omega. Bound, claimed, and forever marked. And though their story was far from over, one truth remained unshakable. No matter how much Sheng resisted, no matter how much he hated, he could never escape Hua Yong again. And so in that single moment, everything changed. Hua Yong had finally claimed Sheng Shao You as his own, binding him with a mark that could never be erased. Sheng lived, but at what cost? The bond that saved his life also chained him to the man he swore he could never forgive. Love, betrayal, survival, and obsession now tied them together in a fate neither of them could escape. What comes next? Only time will tell if Sheng's heart will ever surrender.